Carolyn Leckie from the Scottish Socialist Party, also someone who played
a member of the SSP.
You're
Women
not?
For Independence, no.
Well,
I'm not a member of any political party.
Not a member. Well, thank you for correcting me on that. I was going to mention that you were also a leading light in the Women for Independence campaign. And where do you see that campaign going now as a result of an election which has seen so many SNP MPs elected?
Well, I don't think the two things are necessarily related. There is obviously a relationship between a lot of the women who've been returned as SNP MPs and candidates who've stood for other parties who found their voice through activity in Women for Independence. And I think that's brilliant that so many good women have come through. I was interested in the whole tenor of some of the contributions there about, you know, what will David Cameron do? Will he listen to Boris Johnson? And the disdain that the commentariat and the political classes have shown to the people of Scotland in the last 2 or 3 years is being continued despite returning probably 56 SNP MPs, and they're really going to have to listen to the people and get over making it sound like they're being stupid or they're being bamboozled or they don't really know what they're doing.
What do you think?
It's the smart, savvy electorate.
OK, but what do you think the UK response to an election which has seen so many SNP MPs elected should be? I mean, what do they have a mandate for? They
don't have a mandate, and we are left with that democratic constitutional problem that will need to be resolved at some stage. Because you have an electorate in Scotland that is voting for progressive politics. They vote for the SNP and the independence movement, and it goes beyond that to people who want more powers, more devolution, possibly a federal system, who are absolutely sick to death of being ignored and not being represented properly at a UK level. All the powers over defence, wars, money, tax, benefits, everything, they have no control over that. And you've got David Mundell, who's now part of a troika of pandas, I suppose, who has absolutely no authority, who presumably is going to preside over Scotland as Secretary of State in some sort of feudal way. It's unsustainable.
Anne McGuire.
You know, this is a caricature of the political situation in Scotland, that somehow David Mundell or any Secretary of State or whoever is going to be the Secretary presides over Scotland. We have a Scottish Parliament with significant powers already and with more powers coming under the Smith Commission, which incidentally John Swinney agreed to. So, you know, we cannot continue to caricature this idea that somehow Scotland's people are impotent in terms of its government. Most of the decisions that relate in Scotland are actually delivered in Scotland, and some of the extra powers that are coming, including powers over benefits, a whole range. Well, no, Caroline.
It's still less power than provinces in Canada.
No, actually,
still less power than states in the USA.
Actually, Caroline, I'm sorry to correct you, but rhetoric actually is not the reality. The reality is that the Scottish Parliament, particularly after the Smith Commission proposals, will be the most powerful devolved parliament in any democracy. Now, you cannot continue just to caricature the Scottish Parliament in the way that you do, because frankly, by doing so, you actually undermine the Scottish Parliament and its legitimacy.
Devolution is not federalism.
Well, okay. I'm not arguing. Look, you might be believing in independence, etc., and I accept that. But what you cannot do to pursue your argument is to caricature the Scottish Parliament is some sort of impotent body.
Right. One Tory MP in government can be the Secretary of State for Scotland, representing the powers over welfare, defence, foreign affairs, everything.
I'm going to leave that there because
that's not democratic.
I think you both made the points that you wanted to make, but I'd like to get an update on what's happening right across the UK. Our political editor Brian Taylor has all the details of the UK scoreboard. Brian.